Xavier Collins definitely fits the criteria for this Arizona Cardinals defense. Xavier Collins he's a dynamic, versatile linebacker he has a combination of size, length, and range. He's tall enough to see in the backfield, so he's definitely going to help out with that Arizona Cardinals raging defense, and plus, not to mention, J.J. Watt's going to be right there with him, which is going to create a pass rush defense that is uncontainable. And when you get a guy like Xavier Collins, who's going to be in the backfield every play, along with J.J. Watt, it brings a lot of excitement, especially if you're a Cardinals fan. I mean, when you do the combination between Xavier Collins, Isaiah Simmons, J.J. Watt, this combination is going to be unstoppable eventually. So, from a defensive perspective this year, Arizona Cardinals are going to be in a great position. And the reason I say that is when you instill an addition like Xavier Collins, this is going to benefit this is going to create an intensity for your defense that's going to be unstoppable. So this pick right here is going to increase the defensive intensity, and Xavier Collins, he is going to be right there. He's going to be learning under great talent such as J.J. Watt and Isaiah Simmons, who's a rookie as well. So he's definitely going to learn a lot in this organization, and he is definitely going to develop, and the best of the best is yet to come for this kid. This was a good pick for the Arizona Cardinals, and defensively, they're going to be in a great position this year. I don't think there's another coach in the entire league that wanted Alex Leatherwood more than Jon Gruden. When you look at Alex Leatherwood's quickness, his explosive power, and ability to jar defenders in the run game, that's what stands out on the tape. And he rarely loses battle. You can count on one hand how many matchups that he has lost on the line of scrimmage. That is what Jon Gruden is looking for. He's looking for that top-notch protection. And you can go back to Alex Leatherwood's tenure at Alabama, when he was protecting Mac Jones every single possession. 90% of the time, he was resisting letting defenders go past him. And that's why this is a significant pick, because Jon Gruden is always looking for that top-notch lineman. And I believe that Alex Leatherwood is that top-notch lineman, and he is definitely going to be a guy who I believe that the Oakland Raiders are going to invest their time in. He's definitely going to develop, which I believe he's already fully developed to play in the league as it is. And if anything, if his time, or if his tenure with the Oakland Raiders isn't long-term, he would definitely be utilized in the league for a very long time. I do believe this kid will be successful in the league, and predominantly for the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, in my opinion, he's the most explosive offensive lineman in the entire draft. And that's just my speculation. But on paper, obviously he isn't, because his overall rank is 60th. His position rank is second, and his draft grade is 80. So obviously not on paper, but when you watch him when you look at him from a competition standpoint, he was having to compete every single Saturday. He was having to completely sacrifice so that he could protect Mac Jones. And now he's going to reap the benefits with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Miami Dolphins selected Jaelan Phillips 18th overall. Especially, when we look at Jaelan Phillips, he's a very excellent pass rusher. He's able to use his size to his advantage. He was a 6'6" defensive end from Miami. And he was able to use his size to his advantage. And with the Miami Dolphins being a press high single safety dominant defense that blitzed at the third highest rate in the NFL, he's going to play a significant role in the Miami Dolphins defense. This is what the Miami Dolphins defense has evolved to. They can take guys like Jaelan Phillips and utilize them in the pass rush to where it causes chaos for other teams' offense. This is a good pick. I believe this will most definitely work out for the Miami Dolphins. I believe this is going to be long-term, too, because when you look at a Miami Dolphins defense, who is predominantly known to be a pass-rushing team, this pick could not get none better than Jaelan Phillips. Ron Rivera and the Washington football team adding an addition to that dominant defensive front, or actually just adding an addition to the dominant defense that they have overall, including Chase Young and Montez Sweat. And now they add Jamin Davis. They select him 19th overall. When you look at Jamin Davis's scouting report, he is an off-ball linebacker with a good length and he has outstanding range. He's a downhill run defender. He's a reliable tackler, and he's just a very explosive linebacker. And now that you've added this to that defensive roster, when you've added a guy like Jamin Davis to the defensive roster, it's going to help the defense feed off of each other. And I think with this pick, I believe Ron Rivera knew what position was needed the most, because you definitely need a just a hard-nosed linebacker like Jamin Davis out of Kentucky, who is a ball hawk. He's developing his recognition skills. He was really just a one-year starter at Kentucky, but the thing about Jamin Davis is that, well, he's a third overall ranked linebacker in his position, and Ron Rivera is going to target more defensive players. And I believe with this pick that the Washington football team, the sky's the limit when it comes to their defensive intensity in the upcoming season. And I'm just really excited to see how Jamin Davis is going to learn from guys like Montez Sweat, Chase Young, and many other assets on that Washington football defensive roster. The Giants decided to add an extra weapon for Daniel Jones to go to, as they selected, and I'm sure Joe Judge is excited about this pick as well, as they selected Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver out of Florida. When you think about Kadarius Toney, he's going to fit this offensive setting of Joe Judge's very well because of his athletic abilities. He's got a lot of agility. He's got breakaway speed. He can make plays in the open field, and you saw him do it all year long, and he done it in the best conference in all of college football, and he done it in the SEC. He was just able to make plays when they were needed. And the thing about him, he's very clutch when it comes to when the game's in the balance and you need a wide receiver to go 30 yards down the field, or if you just need a wide receiver that's going to pick you up, or that's going to give you a gain of 5 yards each possession that he's in. I believe that this is the pick that is going to help Daniel Jones be a more versatile quarterback. And as far as Joe Judge, I feel like he's going to utilize him to his max potential. The question for the Indianapolis Colts that's flared up week by week here in the offseason in 2021 is how are you going to replace Danico Autry? Who are you going to replace him with? And the Indianapolis Colts selected Kwity Paye with the 21st pick of the draft. The thing about Kwity Paye is I feel like he's the best option to replace Danico Autry. He was the best candidate overall. I mean, of course, you could have went with a free agent defensive end, but when you look at Kwity Paye's skill set, Kwity Paye, he plays with a good pad level. He's very flashy. Has the ability to make plays in the backfield. He chases with good effort. He has fast strides. He has good hand-eye coordination. He's very aggressive. Has a lot of upper body strength, and he's able to create chaos in the backfield, and he's able to dysfunction a lot of offenses, which he was very capable of doing at Michigan. I feel like this is the pick that the Indianapolis Colts needed the most, because you've lost Danico Autry on that defensive front, and now you replace him with Kwity Paye, which really, when you look at it from a franchise standpoint, I think Kwity Paye is going to benefit them tremendously. Mike Vrabel and the Titans with the 22nd pick selected Caleb Farley, adding a little firepower to that defense and also filling the vacancy of Malcolm Butler. Caleb Farley, he definitely, that's, if you were to compare him to any cornerback in the league, you would have to compare him to Richard Sherman. Just his edge and the way he plays, the way he's able to harass wide receivers, and just forcing them to be unbalanced. And that's the thing with the Titans, is they're known for predominantly having those cornerbacks that are going to harass the receivers and not let them have any production. And overall, when you watch him fairly, he has a rare blend of size and length, and he has top-end speed as well. He moved from a wide receiver to a cornerback when he was at Virginia Tech in 2018. He's a playmaker. He has elite skills. He has a very elite skill set. And this pick, I believe, is the one that Mike Vrabel, he also wanted this. He really wanted this pick. I mean, they were projected to get Elijah Moore, Elijah Moore from Ole Miss, he would fill the slot because, I mean, you lost Corey Davis. You definitely need a replacement for that. But more theoretically, you need a replacement for Malcolm Butler because that is going to be a tough replacement. He saw the opportunity. Mike Vrabel saw the opportunity, and he snatched it. But the thing about Caleb Farley is I feel like he's stepping into a very successful organization that is evolving season by season, and I believe that Caleb Farley, he'll have a successful tenure, however long he stays at the Tennessee Titans. If something happens where they possibly, I mean, I could definitely see the Tennessee Titans possibly franchise tagging a guy like Caleb Farley, but that's all yet to come. But I'm excited to see Caleb Farley in a Titans uniform. There's a lot of people that didn't expect that the Titans would select Caleb Farley. But overall, Caleb Farley was on the board, and Mike Vrabel took every opportunity, or he jumped at the opportunity that he had to land Caleb Farley. So, two Virginia Tech alums go back-to-back in the draft as Caleb Farley goes 22nd to the Tennessee Titans, and 23rd overall, the Minnesota Vikings selected Christian Darrisaw. This is a good selection, especially if you're Kirk. I'm sure you're excited about this, especially if you're Kirk Cousins. And Christian Darrisaw, definitely, he's an excellent zone blocker who has the powerful punch. He's able to knock defenders off of course, and he has the power just to move defenders off the ball. He just flashes at nasty positions, and he's long, and he's able to hold his ground. He's strong enough to stand his ground and be able to compete. Or he's able to block pivotal role defensive players, which is definitely what you need if you're the Minnesota Vikings. I'm definitely intrigued with this pick as the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Najee Harris 24th overall, and I believe Ben Roethlisberger is in need of a running back like Najee Harris, as the Pittsburgh Steelers are just this season released James Conner. Now he's signed a contract with the Arizona Cardinals. Najee Harris is what the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe, are looking for, so they can balance out that offense and have a very versatile offense, and none better than Najee Harris, and which the Pittsburgh Steelers, they waited their turn on this pick 100%, but Najee Harris, just his running back genetics, you just love watching him, how he makes the acrobatic plays, he hurdles defenders, he's able to shed defenders, and it's practically impossible to take the guy down. I mean, standing at 6'3", 232 pounds, which he played a pivotal role into why Alabama had the explosive offense as they had. Harris, he's just patient with his instincts, his foot speed, and the way he's able to just move through traffic. He's good with he's able to balance his speed even with contact. And I'm sure, which if you were to compare him to anyone, especially which the Pittsburgh Steelers have been through so many running backs that eventually you have to get that right one that fits the offensive setting. And I believe Najee Harris is the guy that's going to help take their offense to the next level. And I like Najee Harris because I love how aggressive and how athletic he is. And I believe he'll be very beneficial to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers.